Isotopes and Ions lecture. What are isotopes and what are ions? Isotopes are atoms that have the same amount of protons but different amounts of neutrons. This means that they have the same element, or they are the same element, but they have different mass numbers. Ions are atoms that have a different amount of protons and electrons. This usually happens when atoms go through a reaction and their electrons are forced to move around. Most elements have different isotopes of themselves. They all contribute to the average atomic mass of the element. The amount of neutrons in an atom doesn't change the identity. An atom with 6 protons and 6 neutrons is still the same element as an atom with 6 protons and 7 neutrons. Some isotopes can be radioactive or unstable. This means the atom itself is going to fall apart over time. The idea of radioactivity is used in determining how old parts of the Earth are, or how old things would be that are on the Earth. Naming isotopes consists of 2 parts, the element name and the mass number. The format for this is element name hyphen mass number. For example, carbon with a mass number of 13 would be written as carbon 13. Try these ones. Mercury mass number 201, tellurium mass number 129. You're right, mercury 201, tellurium 129. Ions. How do these happen? Ions occur when an atom reacts with one or more other atoms and either gains or loses electrons. If an atom gains electrons, it now has more negative charge than positive charge, so we say that it's a negative ion. If an atom loses electrons, it now has more positive charges than negative charges, so we say that it's a positive ion. To find the charge of ions. Normally, atoms are said to be neutral charge because they have equal amounts of protons and equal amounts of electrons, and the positive charges and negative charges will cancel out. However, in ions, the positive and negative charges are not even and do not cancel each other out. To find the charge of an ion, you will use this formula. Number of protons minus number of electrons will give you the charge. The answer can be negative. Practice. How many protons, neutrons, and electrons are in the following? Right? So carbon 12 will have 6 protons, carbon 13 will have 6, and carbon 14 will also have 6. The neutrons are what change. Carbon 12 will have 6, carbon 13 will have 7, and carbon 14 will have 8. Notice that if you add those, you get the mass. The electrons will be equal to the number of protons, because if it's an isotope, it's not charged.